I rise today because I am furious. Angry that 3 kids died today in Nashville, Tennessee. Angry that hundreds of parents had to cry their eyes out today, not knowing if their child would come home from school. And angry that we have to live day after day when we turn on the news to see rampant gun violence claiming life after life. And all of this is because politicians in this chamber that have been bought and paid for by the NRA, that put profits over people, over human lives. Cowards who wasted our time last week, passing a parental bill of rights, not giving a damn about the rights of children to be able to go to their classroom without the fear of being gunned down due to senseless gun violence. It is likely that at this moment, the next mass shooter is planning their shooting. What will this chamber do about it? I filed my last bill last week to simply create a federal office of gun violence prevention. 3 kids are dead today, and every day that we wait, 100 more people die. I pray to God that there are some Republicans in this chamber that can help support my legislation to save lives.
Oh, Representative Maxwell Frost, how you jest, how you joke, how you kid. There is no will in the Republican Party to give up their money from the NRA, from the National Rifle Association, and do the pro-life thing. They're not really pro-life. I think you mistook them for people who had a shred of decency or respect, real respect for the living. They don't. Women could die, babies could die, children could die. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter as long as they get their check from the NRA when they need to run for office, as long as they get their, A rating from the National Rifle Association, so they don't have to worry about their political future. They're not worried about your children's future. They're not worried about my children's future. They're not worried about our grandchildren's future. They're not worried about you. I mean, the kids from Marjorie Stoneman Douglas, Max, you remember, organized one of the biggest, largest, loudest, most peaceful protests that anyone had ever seen after Marjorie Stoneman Douglas. Remember that? March for Our Lives. It was quite incredible. We learned the names of Max Frost. We learned the name of Hogg, okay? And we started to have respect for that generation. We started to say, oh, my God, look at them. They're mobilizing. Look at them. They're walking. Look at them. They're talking. These little babies of ours. They want a better world. They want a more decent world. They want a more equitable world. They want a world that's peaceful. They don't want a world that's full of, semi-automatic weapons. They don't want a world where they have to look over their shoulder. They don't want a stand your ground law. They don't want any of this, okay? And they marched and they marched and they marched and they marched in this city and that city and this city and that city. And guess what happened? Right. Nothing. Because the thing that trumps everything all the time is what George W. Bush accidentally told you. I don't know if you remember that he said, money trumps peace sometimes. But he did because he's an idiot, and he said the truth out loud where people could actually hear him. And that is the Republican Party. They don't give a damn about the life of the mother. They don't give a damn about feeding the baby. They don't give a damn about free lunch in 5th grade or 4th grade or 2nd grade. They obviously don't give a damn about, these. This was a Catholic, not a Catholic school. This was a Christian school. They don't care. And you know how you know they don't care? Because in Tennessee, they have this really weird thing where public schools, have to have a public safety officer, but private religious schools don't. So these kids that went to this private religious school, it's a small school. I think there were 200 kids total, 3 of them dead, and 3 of the teachers. One of them was the headmaster. The other one was the janitor. Another one was a substitute teacher, dead, all in their 60s. The children, one was 8, going to be 9, basically 9-year-olds, 3 of them. They don't care. None of that's going to move them from, creating a new Christmas card. None of that's going to move them from not attending, some sort of a NRA dinner party where the checks get handed out. None of that. None of it's a deterrent to their piss poor behavior. or their nasty view of your children or your life or your ability to not have to worry that your kid's going to come home from school alive in America. No, nothing trumps money in their world. Nothing at all. So we have another shooting and another bunch of clueless Republican congressmen who think it's totally, totally appropriate to go and put out a Christmas card with you and your family strapped. This is whose district it is. Okay, this is Representative Andy Ogles. This is him.
The Tennessee member of Congress.
Look at that.
Who represents Nashville. His name is Congressman Andy Ogles. So Republican. This was his family Christmas card. It feels like the district is represented by someone who isn't just an advocate for access to guns, but almost fetishizes them. What is it like for that community to be represented by someone like that today?
Having spent most of the past year running for Congress against Andy Ogles, I can corroborate that he is somebody who very much supports our gun culture in Tennessee. Look, it gets framed as an issue about freedom, but I can just tell you right now that it's not about freedom when you're dealing with parents who don't have the freedom to know that their kids are going to be safe.
It's supposed to be about life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. This is what it's supposed to be. But, they don't give a damn about your life. They don't give a damn about your liberty to send your kids to school and not have to worry that they're going to come home, maimed, mangled, or mutilated, or worse. Okay, it's not about life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. There is no pursuit of happiness. They want to make it as chaotic and as grinding a road that can be conceived to keep you very busy, dodging bullets, very busy trying to get a living wage, very busy trying to get your children a health care, very busy trying to put an egg on the table for breakfast. They're very busy. They're very busy creating a very grinding, hard life for you by design. I mean, we have choices to make, and this is what people are choosing. And yes, a former FBI agent was actually on Fox News. Her name was Nicole Parker. It's been driving me crazy. Nicole Parker, that was her name. And she said, quote, "If we can lock the side doors and make sure that the schools are secure, hopefully we can avoid those tragedies going forward." Right. And we can solve global warming by everybody running their air conditioning 24/7. I mean, this is somebody who says they're an FBI agent trying to solve the crime problem that's sitting on Fox News when there's obvious video of the shooter blowing out the locked door glass. Oh, well, maybe the door shouldn't be made of glass. Yeah, and maybe the school should be built like a prison. Maybe that's what it is. Screw books. Teachers don't have books. They have guns. Make it a prison. I mean, I can't believe how broken this country is allowing itself to get. Beth in Washington.
Hello.
Hello.
Hi. Thank you for taking my phone call. Something that keeps going through my mind every time I go through another one of these shootings is there's a whole generation of kids basically being groomed by video games.
What?
To sneak through buildings with big guns.
So, Beth, I don't know what kind of phone this is, but you need to turn down the TV or whatever you're watching, listening to, and then get on a real phone. But I think what I understood you to say, whatever I understood you to say was that you blame video games. Is that correct?
Well, not every kid that plays a video game is going to shoot up their school, but it's that one out of several thousand that sits there every day. My little granddaughter was 4 years old, trying to teach me how to play a video game. That was Dora the Explorer. It's a cute little game. But boys from 7 to 9, or maybe even younger, are playing games with these guys dressed in fatigues with great big guns, chasing each other through buildings, shooting each other, and this is what they spend every day doing after school.
Right, but Beth, you know what? It's a game.
Basically being groomed.
Beth, it's a game.
It's a game.
Yeah,
but
I think children understand the difference between chutes and ladders and real life. Just color me, fantastically, sunny, optimistic. I think they know the difference. Don't have time to listen to the live show? Want to hear more on your schedule? Go to randyrhodes.com and buy a stinking podcast.